What it do? And welcome back to the Flagrant3 podcast. The NBA season is back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Snazz, and across the way, as always, Mr. Feeling Too Good.
The NBA season is back indeed, and we are excited. We skipped out last week. There's a bit of illness bugs going around, so we skipped out last week. Unfortunately, we had some good content lined up, but
we're back!
We're back.
Yay! Sound effects and all.
Soundboard on the crack. Yes.
Oh, mate.
Yes.
I am so happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy the NBA season's back. I've watched more basketball in the last 2 weeks than I have done probably in the last year.
And you know what? It's good basketball now. These new rules.
The new rules are killing it, man.
Oh, NA.
Exposing people, man.
Yeah, James Harden. Yeah, nah, seriously, man. It's been really good watching games this year so far.
Yeah, I've loved it. I've loved most of the games that I've watched.
Yeah.
I've started watching a couple and sort of dipped out a little bit.
Yeah.
But no one wants to watch the Indiana Pacers play, you know what I mean?
Well, you say that the Indiana Pacers are doing good, man.
Huh?
Yeah.
They're not 1 of 5.
Yeah, but
I'm doing good.
But they're strong. Like I feel like they've got something going. Yes, they're only they're 1 and 6. They're 1 and 6, but their rookie is so far the best rookies in the class.
Yeah.
What's his name? Dwayne, something like that. Whatever his name is. But I like it, man. Sabonis is obviously having a better year than last year. Miles Turner's having a good year. He put up 40 last week.
Yeah, man. I like Miles Turner. I like his game.
Yeah. It could be on a trading block, but Karis LeVert, they're doing all right. Anyways, I want to point out that I'm still not used to the Wilson basketball.
Nah, it looks weird, doesn't it? It looks weird.
It does look weird. I'm not too sure on it, but
this is us now. This is the game for the foreseeable. But man, so many big changes in the league that, like, in such a short amount of time, like the new rules, familiar faces in different places.
Yeah,
it's a great time to be an NBA fan right now, man. I've not been so excited for a season in so long.
I haven't. This year's been a great year so far. 2 weeks in.
Going to talk about your favourite game of the first 2 weeks.
My favourite game so far of the last 2 weeks has been the Celtics and the Knicks in the Garden, double overtime.
Yeah,
brilliant game. Was it opening night in the Garden? I think it was, wasn't it?
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been Celtics' first game. Not sure, but it was a thriller.
Yeah, it was a really good game. And we had a couple of good overtime games.
I had a lot of overtime games in the first 2 weeks.
Games. Most recently, good game, Golden State, Memphis.
Oh.
I went to overtime. Jar putting on a show.
That boy is something else.
He's having a great year. He's having a great year. Did you see him? He come out and said he's taken him averaging 35 a game to get All-Star recognition. Like, bro, first of all, you're only averaging 27. Second of all, it's only your third year in the league, so at one point you wouldn't even be eligible for an All-Star game until this year.
But I mean,
he's
playing so well.
He's balling out. Memphis are doing really well. Steven Adams on that team is looking good.
He was big.
Yeah.
He was big in that game. I think he got like 10 points, 10, 12 points in like the first 6 minutes. It was just all Steven Adams.
Chucking it in low, yeah.
Early in the game. But, man, Memphis are looking good.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, they're going to lean very heavily on Jar, but, that's the price you pay when you're a caliber player that he is. But the Memphis Grizzlies will start to build around him a bit more as his career goes on. But I feel like Jar is putting his stamp on the NBA this season.
Jaren Jackson Jr. can sort of pick up his game a bit. I picked him up in fantasy. He's doing all right, but he's
okay.
not. Yeah, he's not really been the offensive force. I mean, he's not great on D, but he's not really been the offensive force that that Memphis, I think, were expecting.
And he is kind of Jar's number 2.
Yeah.
And you would expect a little bit more.
Coming off injury, etc. So, yeah, I think you would expect a little bit more out of him. Maybe it'll come over time, obviously, early doors. But the biggest bust so far.
Who?
It's got to be the Nets.
Oh yeah,
the Nets have been poor. I don't know if you want to put it down to Kyrie not being there. I wouldn't. I'd put it down to James Harden not being able to cope with these new rules.
I think it's a mixture. I mean, KD's been KD.
Yeah,
he hasn't changed his game. He's still doing him, but the wins just aren't.
Balls into the stands. Yeah. Getting fined 25 grand.
Was that it?
25 grand, yeah.
Man, a spit to KD at this point in his career, man. Yeah. I'll take it out of retirement fund. No, the Nets have been disappointed, especially all the hype. This veteran squad, man, apart from like KD and Harden and Joe Harris.
Who's not having a good year.
No, he hasn't. He didn't really do particularly well last year in the playoffs.
He fell off in the playoffs, and he's not
really picked it back up. But these old guys are struggling to get up and down the court, man. You got LaMarcus Aldridge,
Millsap,
made it into the 20K club. I will add.
Yeah, I see that. James Harden didn't even know what he was talking about. I think a lot of Brooklyn's issues are with James Harden right now. He didn't sign his extension. How do you feel about that? They offered him an extension. He didn't sign it. Rumour is he wants to go to 76ers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Daryl Morey, 76ers.
Yeah.
They were together in Houston. Obviously, the deal fell through 76ers Houston before he was traded to Brooklyn. Yeah. Obviously, Brooklyn put on a better package for Houston, and Houston took that.
See, that surprises me.
That's kind of obviously he said that he wants to stay in Brooklyn for the foreseeable future. He sees himself there, but they're struggling. I mean, if they don't win a chip, we know what people do when they don't win chips these days.
Yeah, man. And the thing with Harden, he's
never been a free agent.
No, and when Russ won the MVP when he averaged a triple-double, James Harden got a bit salty about the wins. Like, apparently it doesn't matter if you win or not. And then he put on a show like the following season to win his MVP. Yeah. But in terms of winning, I think he will do whatever it takes to win, which is why he's like the past few years he's been flopping, getting to the line 15 times a game, slowing the game right down. But I feel he's the type of guy, if he'll give it a try now because he's entering the latter end of his career now.
Yeah.
Like he's hit his peak, now will be the slow decline.
Yeah.
And this is where you see...
A lot quicker the way he's going.
And this is where you see like your all-star players start to panic on the arse end of their career. Like, yes, I got MVP, multiple scoring titles, blah, 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 but I haven't got that ring. And I'm not going to be remembered as much if I don't have that ring. My career's not successful without that ring. And he is definitely one of those guys I look at as a jumper. He will jump ship, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
As disappointing as that is, but...
At this point, I mean, this is obviously extremely early. At this point, do you consider James Harden making the All-Star team?
No, if he carries on the way he is, unless it's a popularity contest again.
I mean, we got to think you got Lonzo, who's doing bits for Charlotte at the guard position. You've got Zach LaVine. Kemba's doing well. You've got Zach LaVine, who's obviously killing it with the Bulls and his new squad. Even, Lonzo Ball's really well.
is he's stepped it up.
Bradley Beal's obviously doing well with Washington. It was another big surprise. Washington are a really big surprise this year. 5-1 already.
But for me, like biggest bust for me, I'm going to go with the Suns.
Yeah.
Although I think they're 2-4.
2-3.
2-3.
Yeah.
It's not an insurmountable that they can overcome that quite easily. But I would have expected, and I kind of, everyone wants to see these guys play well. Like they showed they could play really well in the playoffs, but now it's everyone kind of second guesses that talent now because everyone had the conversation of they got lucky in the playoffs. They got the luckiest matchups they could possibly get. All the teams they played riddled with injury, blah blah blah, doubted them. And I kind of wanted to see a little bite back from Phoenix and go, you know what, we're going to start the season 4-0, or
come out steaming. Yeah,
it's kind of like instead of proving that they have something, or that they have something to prove, I should say, they've kind of come out and just gone, we deserve all the recognition already. We don't really need to work for this. Every other team's garbage compared to us because we made it to the finals.
Yeah,
living off of last year's success rather than coming into it with a new face of, right, we nearly got it done. Let's get it done. Let's get home court. Let's get it done. And you need to do that from the get-go in the season, I think, like Golden State.
Like the Jazz have. The Golden State, Utah.
I wouldn't put Jazz in the same conversation as any team in the West because they absolutely kill it in the regular season and are dog shit in the playoffs.
Yeah, but then obviously the fashion they went out last year, they've come back. They lost their first game last night. So it's kind of similar in what you're saying. Obviously, the Suns lost in the finals. You'd think they'd have more motive to come out guns blazing, but the Jazz lost with the number 1 seed last year. They've come out and they've gone, right, we're unfuckable.
You gonna fuck on me?
And obviously they took an L last night in a close game, but they look good.
Yeah, I mean, I like watching Jazz games because everyone knows their role, and so far they're not leaning as much
on Donovan,
and which will obviously give them a prime opportunity to fully unleash him in the playoffs without having to carry the team. Yeah. And I mean, the playoffs are so far away. We're week 2 in a minute, so it could all go tits up. Utah Jazz could go on a
25-game skid.
Yeah, Jesus, could you imagine?
Yeah, that'd be sick.
But Suns for me, just a disappointing start to the season. But Devin Booker saying that he wants to be remembered as a winner. Young fella, you got to start winning.
Yeah,
and you've had
You've had one winning season.
Yeah,
in your career
in 6 years.
Yeah, Who else? Atlanta.
Yeah, I think the rule changes have done Trey a little bit dirty because I had him in the MVP conversation before the start of the season, and looking at it now, I'm not all too confident.
No,
not to say that he's a worse player than what he was last year. He might just need a little bit more time to adjust to this. But I mean,
to the new rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, as much as it was put in place to stop James Harden and stuff, it was Trey took full advantage of it as well.
Oh yeah,
especially that dribble in front of a defender and then stop.
Oh, that was Trey and CP3 all day, like.
Yeah, and obviously the shooting with the kicking out legs is Stephen Harden in it, but the Hawks starting 3-3. They took an absolute whooping to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
It's like payback for Philly.
Yeah.
In their last game.
I would have liked to have seen old Benny Boy out there for that, but...
Yeah, well, should we speak about him? Because nobody speaks about him anymore. And I feel like
we speak about him all the time, man. He's had more airtime than me and you put together, bruv. Like, but yeah, let's talk about him.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think they are going to keep him away? So they're not going to fine him for not showing up to games. They're not going to fine him for not showing up to practice. They're going to keep him away just so they can... He's still an all-star guard at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Philly GM, at the minute, you would love a 6'8" perimeter defender to come out and help you guys, because that's really where they're struggling the most is their defense and running the offense. They're running the offense through Joel Embiid so much, and he's huffing and puffing in the fourth quarter, very much like what he did in the playoffs. He plays absolutely outstanding the first 3 quarters, and then he gets gassed in the fourth. But I mean, if I'm the Sixers GM, I'm looking around, and at this point, yes, if we send him out on the floor, we up his trade value. That's really cool. That's good.
Yeah,
but
do you though?
Yeah,
if he decides not to play well.
Yeah, but at the minute, I would settle for role players, because you need role players at the minute. Because, I mean, Tobias Harris is playing okay. Seth Curry has stepped it up.
Seth Curry,
I should say, yeah. You got Danny Green out there. You need guys.
Danny Green,
yeah. You need guys that are going to...
Maxi's not playing playoff ball that he was playing last year.
No,
Spurs.
You need guys that are going to come in, you give them their role, and they go, okay, cool. And then they perform. And yes, you're still on the back of Joel Embiid, but, you know, his better options are better than no options. Like, you're trading away a 6'8" defensive monster in Ben Simmons, and say you get 2-3 players back, 2 players and a draft pick or whatever, I'd be okay with that. As long as one of those guys are a shooter and one of them's a ball handler, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, playmaker,
Yeah. But, Benny Boy, it's really a group discussion. I think that meeting that they had the other week where Ben said, I've got mental health issues, which ain't no joke. And he addressed...
fans ain't no joke. That's the only issue he's got.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what I think it is. These mental issues is he doesn't want to step back in the arena. You
got to have big cojones to do all of that and then step into Philly.
As we said on the last episode, I can't see him stepping back in there for a long time. And as an opponent, I cannot see it. Joel Embiid can go out there and say we've got to love him. He's our brother. Whatever. They don't give a rat's fuck.
They don't give a shit, man.
They could not care less. They will popcorn that man. They will tar and feather him.
I feel for him.
I do feel.
I really do think that he had the wrong people telling him what to do in this situation. I feel that his friends, family, or his agents, whatever, were telling him the completely wrong way about this to go, and it's backfired to the point where it's like detrimental to his career. What he does next, his next move is probably the most important move he will make in his career now.
Agreed.
So, I mean, best of luck to Benny Boy, wherever he turns up.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's always Walmart. But
oh yeah, yeah. Oh, coming in with a band. Loving the soundboard.
The double tap.
Joke's so nice.
Right.
Who else would you say is a bust?
It's got to be Lakers, isn't it? It's got to be Lakers, man.
You can put it down to growing pains. They've got to hash it out.
There's a lot of new personalities on this team, and big personalities as well.
Big personalities. I mean, even Melo, like, he's an aging superstar, a very, very aging superstar, but he's still got an ego.
Yeah, of course he has, man.
You know what I mean? You can't.
When you're being compared and matched up with LeBron your entire career.
Yeah. Now you're playing with him, coming off the bench while he's starting. And you want to be that guy, but I think the issue is there's too many people in the Lakers right now that need the ball in their hands.
The Lakers do not move well without the ball at the moment. It's so ISO at the moment, and that lane is clogged. That's looking like London at 5 o'clock in the evening, man.
Yeah.
That's not looking good.
I actually feel like a lot of games that I've watched, it has been very ISO. But yeah, the Lakers especially are poor at moving the ball. They're poor at moving without the ball.
They're great at stat stuffing, though. That's what I don't get. It's like Russ gets a triple-double, but it doesn't feel like he's impacted the game, or like these assists. It's not highlight plays. It's not through the team moving the ball. It's little handoffs here and there. It's not really stuff that gets you going as a player. Whereas you watch guys like, I think it was Chicago. Was it Chicago? I watched, and the ball movement was stellar. It was just ping, 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 ping.
And you got the same thing with Golden State.
Golden State
ball
is
that's always been.
That's Golden State's best game is when they're moving the ball.
Off ball movement in Golden State is what every team should aspire to.
Yeah.
To be like,
and that's what makes Golden State so fun to watch.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice them being such a powerhouse again.
Yeah,
well, 2 weeks in, if you want to call it
5-1.
5-1, yeah. But with the Lakers, I mean, the defense is poor.
Yeah,
and that's supposed to be Frank Vogel's bread and butter.
Yeah,
and it is poor. They're currently 25th defensive rating in the league out of 30 teams.
Jesus,
it's dreadful.
That's not good. That's not good, nah.
They get out on a break and it's Showtime Lakers every time down the floor.
That's it, man.
Which is mad.
It doesn't mean you're a good team, no.
Absolutely not.
It really doesn't.
LeBron's shooting from deep like his name's Steph Curry, which was going well until their last game when he went 1 for 10. Admittedly, that the one was from the logo, but
that don't mean jack. Especially when you're not grabbing those offensive balls as well, which they've struggled with as well.
Yeah, no, I think they've said it many a times. The team moves as Anthony Davis moves, and first game he looked good, but he's not really been up there since.
It's not felt like it's AD's team. It's kind of like it's so up in the air, that team. It's yes, like AD is like the head guy, right? But you still look to LeBron.
Yeah.
On offense, you still, what's LeBron telling us to do? Not like what's AD saying in the huddle. I mean, like we go into the huddle, and when Coach Bron Coach Bron was out with the sore ankle, and he's leaning over the coach, telling who was it? Was it? It might have been Bazemore, showing him the iPad, like, talking over the coach, like, this is what we're doing. This is still LeBron's team very much, and you have 3 guys that need to be leaders when they're on a team.
Yeah.
You know, you got AD, he did it his entire time with the Pelicans. LeBron has been LeBron his entire career. He's got to be the general on the floor. Cool, because he's probably one of the best to do it. And then you got Russ. This is why it hasn't worked out everywhere he's gone, because he needs to be the main guy.
Yeah.
He needs to run the offense and run the team. And he got such a big voice in Russ and Bron as well. Like, geez, like as soon as they made the move, it was like, this is going to either make the Lakers or break them.
And so far it's breaking.
Yeah, it's not looking great.
But this is you know, when they made this deal, obviously they had a deal on the table for Buddy Hield.
Yeah, that fell through.
That fell through because AD and Bron wanted to bring in Westbrook. They'd spoke to Westbrook. They'd all sat down and had a brunch and said, egos aside, let's get shit cracking. And no egos
were not put aside, no.
Yeah, so could it be growing pains? We all know over the last 2 seasons, or last 2 or 3 seasons, when Westbrook's been moved about, first half of the season, his team start off poor. Second half of the season, they figure it out.
Yeah.
And they come out steaming. Houston in the bubble played really well. And then obviously the Wizards, I think after the All-Star break, were one of the best teams record-wise. Obviously they just skipped out. They just skipped into the play-in tournaments and then lost to Philly. So will they figure it out?
Who knows?
Who knows? They're all aging now. I think this is the first time you're starting to see LeBron's age.
Yeah, I mean, this is week 2 and he's sitting out.
Yeah.
Not for an injury. Like,
yeah.
It was...
Well, someone fell on his leg again, didn't they?
Yeah, sore ankle, I wouldn't really... Like 10 years ago...
Oh, no.
You wouldn't see Kobe miss a game because of a sore ankle.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
But move on to the next one. Best pickup. Best pickup.
I think it's got to be the Bulls squads.
Man,
the Bulls squad is killing it.
They're so good. So fun to watch again.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've watched a Bulls game.
But it's one of them things, you know. That obviously, people say the league's better when like the Knicks are on top, or the Knicks are winning, or whatever the saying goes. But I think it's the Bulls.
Yeah,
I think the league is better when the Bulls are good. Like,
and they just had a Joakim Noah night as well.
Yeah, Joakim Noah night. He's a retired man, but watching the Bulls is just fun. You know, they had that game the other night with DeRozan airballed the game winner. It was overtime as well, wasn't it?
Don't think it was overtime, no.
No. But what a game.
I mean, if he doesn't pump fake that, that's cash money. That's DeRozan's bag.
Oh, it is, yeah, absolutely. It's DeRozan's bread and butter, isn't it? But
who are you saying is better for Chicago for their pickup, Lonzo or DeRozan? Like,
that's hard.
Out of the two, because Lonzo has improved so much, and like you could tell he enjoys being on this team. Like Lakers, he had that first season where it was him, Ingram, and all those guys, and
Randall,
then
Julius
Randle, and then LeBron comes along, makes all the moves. All Alonso's pals are gone.
Yeah, no, I think Lonzo. I think Lonzo's the better pickup out of DeRozan and himself, because DeRozan is older. I think over time, the pickup will be better for Lonzo, especially playing with Levine, whatever you want to call him, being young and taking that bit of pressure away from him.
And he pushes the pace, man. This is what I love about Lonzo's game. He's always pushed the pace. In high school, pushes the pace. Every time he gets the ball, he's going outlet. Who am I yakking it to?
Year, like he's throwing half court oops like they're nothing.
Man,
and he always has done.
He's been so underrated his entire career, and it's partly because of his the build up to him being drafted with what's his name, LeVar.
Yeah,
talking the talk, kind of stole his spotlight a little bit, I would say. But without that, are you as hyped to see Lonzo play? But he did. I don't feel that he got the just amount of time to adjust to the NBA.
No,
because he was so hyped, and with his like reality TV show, this, that, and the other, he was famous before actually stepping foot on the court for the NBA. And you know, LeVar, nothing against LeVar, he's a great dad. You cannot deny that.
He hyped his boys up. NBA games.
Yeah, well, Jello didn't.
Well, he played summer league. You know, his name's been on an NBA roster. Yeah,
I suppose. Yeah, and he's in the G League now, which is cool. It's still the branch on the NBA. That's dope. But I mean, Lonzo Ball, he's starting to. Well, every year he's progressed. Yeah. And now he's entering his potential now. And it's dangerous for the Eastern.
Yeah.
Because when your point guard is pushing the pace and you've got two wing guys, I know DeRozan's not as athletic as he once was.
Don't know, he's been yamming.
He's been bunnies this year so far. And then he got Zach LaVine. And then he got Caruso off the bench, man. That's who you want to see Lonzo with. As fun as it was watching him with Zion, that's who you want to see Lonzo with, these athletic wings. And they're good shooters as well. Like Zach LaVine has developed his jump shot so well since leaving Minnesota, man.
And do you know what's mad is that being on a losing team in the Bulls for the last few years, and he has still got better. And being on a losing team and getting better is so hard.
And if you're getting better as well, he's stuck with it. He didn't do what all these other guys were doing, which I want out. Yeah. We're not winning, I want out. He
did last year. He did want out last year.
Yeah, but he played the waiting game.
Yeah.
And they rewarded him with this roster that is just, I mean, apart from Vucic.
I mean, Vucic has been all right. Obviously, he's been an all-star in the past. He's not playing at that level, but he's been decent. He's been stepping out, hitting some threes. He's playing a pick and roll nice with.
I haven't
Lonzo
seen this geezer's feet leave the floor once. Man's got a negative vertical leap. But I mean, the Chicago lineup is unless you go with my pick, Kemba Walker. I like Kemba Walker's game, man. And he's doing exactly what the Knicks wanted, because Alfred Payton last year refused to shoot the damn ball. Kemba's stepping in and helping Julius. And
Derrick Rose.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that poor man's going to have no kneecaps left if he carried on the way it was. But yeah, great pickup. Evan Fournier, he's doing okay. He's hitting a couple of threes a game.
Yeah.
I think he's averaging double digits, and he is quite clutch as well, I will say, about Evan Fournier. RJ Barrett as well.
Oh, big night last night.
35 career high. Jesus,
and he hit the dagger.
Man, that's what you want. That's what you want, man. Like RJ Barrett, I wish him, Zion and Cam Reddish didn't team up in college, because they all went to Duke.
You wanted to see him
I wanted
flourish
them
separately?
All separate, because then you're not hiding behind alley-oops and it was just hype for Duke. They didn't do too well in the March Madness, but
fourth, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, weren't great. But I mean, Zion stole his thunder there.
Yeah.
And RJ Barrett was being coached privately by Steve Nash in the build-up to the draft.
It's his nephew, isn't it?
Yeah. Come on, man. I
would have. One thing he didn't teach him is how to use his opposite hand. He's a lefty.
Yeah, he's lefty through and through, man.
He's a lefty. RJ Barrett's having a great year, and I hope it continues. And the Knicks, top of the East at the minute, 5-1, are having a great year as well. But here's one for you. So we're 3 years in for the Zion draft class. Who's more valuable so far, RJ or Zion?
Oh, I mean, time spent on the floor, you got to go with RJ.
You got to, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Talent-wise, I would still maybe put Zion above him, but we just ain't seen him enough.
No.
And obviously, his injury was kept under wraps as well, which doesn't bode well for him.
He looks big.
Yeah.
Have you seen recent pictures?
He's eating that jambalaya in New Orleans, brother.
He's loving that.
He's eating
God
good.
knows what his weight's going to be after Mardi Gras next year.
Jeez.
Man's big.
He's got to do a lot of work when he comes back. A lot of running, sir. A lot of suicides. To the line. But I would. It's hard. It's hard to say it, even though you know it's the right answer that RJ is currently better than Zion.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say it, because when you watch Zion play, you're like, this guy's an animal. He's like, but I also watch Zion play, and I just think every time he moves, I'm like, injury. He's cutting like Derrick Rose, and he's the size of Shaq. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? That don't bode well for the old ankles and knees, bro.
No.
But yeah, like I back RJ Barrett in that argument.
Yeah.
At the minute, if Zion can work on his jumper, because that thing is ugly. Well, he picks that ball up from his shoulder blade when he shoots, man. Like, I don't mess with his jump shot.
There's one thing RJ's got over him, and that's RJ made the playoffs already.
Yeah. And Zion hasn't been close.
No. Best ability is availability.
And you look at,
as we always say,
you look at New Orleans roster last year, and then you look at the Knicks roster last year. The Pelicans looked better on paper when you look at them. You look Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart. You got Zion Williams,
JJ.
Yeah,
before he retired. Yeah,
good golly, like that was a good team, and they didn't make it work.
Steven
obviously.
Adams as well last year.
They did.
New Orleans is just a shit show though.
It's one of those franchises at the minute that are just there. You know, like what the Toronto Raptors were before they won the chip. They were just there before they started making the playoffs and all of that. And kind of like your Minnesota teams, Kings, they're just there to give other teams dubs, essentially.
Yeah. Which
is sad. And I'm kind of disappointed with the Kings as well. I thought they might have at least given it a bit. Well, they're doing okay. They're on a winning season, but I don't see them being in playoff contention in 3-4 weeks' time. I think they're going to be so far. They're going to be fighting for the 11th spot with the Spurs.
Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, and the Spurs as well. Like, we've got so many teams to talk about. Like the Spurs, not playing great ball. They're going to break they've already broken their streak of 25 years on the bounce in the playoffs. So it's not looking great, but they're playing hard, and you can tell they're not tanking.
Nah, I don't think Greg Popovich would allow any of that.
Nah, I just don't think they've got the caliber to win in the West. Or, well, I say the West, but the East is looking like the more
Much
dominant,
stronger, yeah.
Which we'll touch on that a little bit later. But yeah, man, it's the West is so
Spurs
open.
the Spurs have just got a whole lot of nothing. I mean, they've got good players like Murray, and they got Lonnie Walker, who's decent. They've got Thaddeus Young, like he was decent. He was a decent player, but they're just never going to piece anything together, are they?
No, it's not really a free agent target area to go to either. It's kind of like the Nuggets, where if you're not drafted there, you're not going now unless it's on a trade. If anyone's going
anywhere in Texas, is Dallas, isn't it? Let's be real.
Yeah.
Who also aren't really performing. I mean, it is early. A lot of teams have only played 5-6 games, so Dallas being 3-2 isn't really what I expected. Luka's not made a hell of a lot of noise. A lot of people are blaming Porzingis as well.
I mean, Porzingis, yeah. Then you got Jason Kidd, new coach.
I don't think it's going to work.
No, man. No.
No, I really don't. I think this will be Jason Kidd's last head coach role.
I think so. Where was he last year?
He was assistant.
He was an assistant for the Lakers, yeah. Was he just jacking off the whole year, or did he actually bring a notepad to the games, or what?
Well, you heard about when he was in Milwaukee.
Oh, Giannis didn't even know he was a player.
No, not that.
Giannis didn't have a fucking clue who he was.
Did you hear about the whole Christmas situation?
No.
Apparently, one of the games before Christmas, Jason Kidd went sick over their defense, called everybody on Christmas Day to run, and was going men's. Yeah, I think someone released a book. It might have been Giannis. It might have been in a book Giannis wrote, or a fucking memoir or something.
They've all got memoirs now, and
yeah, like Giannis is 26. He's got a book about his life. Like, bro, you haven't lived. Like, you've done a lot in the NBA, but you haven't lived.
Hit us up when you're 40, bro, and you can no longer jump.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's where we want to hear it.
Dallas, taking an L to the Hawks opening night. Well, their opening night.
Their other loss was a bad loss to the Nuggets.
Yeah,
I think it was 2 nights ago.
Yeah, really bad loss.
106-75. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
But
Jeez Louise.
A player that has really upset me, really upset me this year so far is Michael Porter Jr., man.
Go on, vent.
Oh, bro, like you've signed for so much bag. Like, you're a good player, man. Play like it, for fuck's sake. Like,
I think he was like the consensus most improved player for this year.
You ask everyone that's doing a fucking podcast about basketball is picking this man for MIP 2 weeks ago. Now they're like, oh, I would drop him. Like
Michael who?
Who? Yeah, Junior who? But even in the game against Dallas, I watched this game. Really good game the first 2 quarters. Before the lead started really building up. I don't like blowouts. No. I'm not a big fan of blowouts.
Everyone
even if it is my team, I like. But I mean, he got 12. He ended the game with 12 points. He got 9 points in the first quarter. Jeez. Bruh. And the thing that irritates me about him, and I know his coach Mike Malone has pulled him on it. He's upset he's not getting his jump shot going. That's cool. We find ways of dealing with that. Your jump shot's not moving and you're not being as successful with the ball. Cool. You know what you do? You rebound.
Yeah.
Get those defensive rebounds and push the ball. Put the D off course. You get an open shot. Bang. You make a layup. Blah, blah, blah. And then you're back in it. You're starting to score. And this is exactly what he did to start the game. That first quarter, he was getting rebounds. He got 3 rebounds in the first quarter. He ended the game with 3 rebounds.
Jeez.
Good golly. Like, come on, man. You're on a $100 million contract. You have like sky high potential. You play the first quarter like you're going to be an MVP player, because he looked dangerous. He looked so quick, agile. His jump shot was wet. He was moving the ball great. He wasn't pressing anything. And then the rest of the game, he was trash can. You know, and really disappointing.
There's a lot of players, I think, that kind of look like they've taken the summer off.
Yeah.
Dame.
Dame. What has happened there?
Like, man? I know you're the one that wants to trade, but you're playing like you're going to get traded. Yeah. Like, CJ McCollum's the guy on that team right now.
Oh, he's got to be averaging what, like 28 points?
Nah. Not far from it, I wouldn't say. But just Dame's just not. He's just not performed. He's just terrible from 3. Terrible from 3 this year. He's shooting 26%.
Jesus.
37% overall. But I mean, he's so far averaging 19 points a game. That Damian Lillard numbers?
No,
absolutely not.
You ain't getting an invite to the All-Star game playing like that, bro.
And I don't get it either, because it's like you're the guy that wanted to be traded. Like you want to be traded, right? You want to be traded. Well, he didn't. He's come out and said that he didn't want to be traded, but
there was all that talks about
it.
Yeah,
if this team doesn't buck up its ideas and get you to championship contention, you're off skis.
Yeah. I'm not sure how long he's got left on his contract, to be fair. It must be close to being up now.
I have no idea. Then you've got CJ is on 24.2 points per game this season so far. He's shooting 45% from 3.
I mean, the thing about CJ McCollum is he does tend to have these stints where he goes out and he scores 30 points a game for like 5-6 games, and then he cools off. But that's cool because you got Dame to back you up. And the minute you don't have that, so as soon as CJ starts falling off, like we're all predicting he will, which is cool. He's not the number 1 guy. You can have your stints and drop off to a successful, to a decent degree. Not don't just completely fall off, but you can take a back seat when you've got an all-star like Dame. Yeah. But at the minute, not smart to do that.
Nah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Dame had his struggles for Team USA, didn't he?
Yeah.
Most notably in the final seconds of the gold medal game, missing the free throws when KD had to come down and win the game on his own. So maybe it's a carryover, but you got Dame doesn't look like he's put any effort in the summer. MPJ doesn't look like he's put any effort in the summer. James Harden has been partying too much in the summer. Like, you know, he said, "Oh, spending too much time rehab. I didn't get no time to work on my game." Like, bruv, you could have stayed fit. You could have stayed fit. You see chicken wings in a strip club with Lil Baby in France, bruv. Stop, man. KD KD and Steph are like the 2 guys at the minute in the league that you look at and you're like, and Ja, that you're looking at and going, all they give a fuck about is winning.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do it the right way as well. Like KD, not so much because he's a Twitter fiend, but like if they're winners, but it's not like you watch them win and you're like, ugh.
Yeah,
he's winning again. Fuck this guy.
Yeah,
it's like you're happy to see these guys win. Like Ja Morant, I'm buzzing that he's got off to a great start. Steph Curry, I was ecstatic opening night to see Steph Curry back out there looking like Steph Curry.
Yeah,
you know, and the Warriors looking dominant again. And although the Warriors kind of ruined the NBA for me when they signed KD, that's kind of when I started switching off from the NBA. Definitely. It was just kind of like, okay, it's all about who's most attractive and who's got the most bags as a franchise to sign all of these guys. But the Warriors, watching them now, I feel like I'm watching them the season before they won their first title, where the ball movement's absolutely killer. Draymond's looking decent. I'm not a big fan of Draymond.
Don't talk about him like, you know I don't like him.
But he's looking decent. Jordan Poole is ice cold so far, man.
Do you know who he's looking good? Iggy.
Yeah, man. He's got hops.
Did you see that last night?
Mate, off the backboard.
Like, after the whistle.
Yeah.
Whew.
If he made that, I would have dropped
we was all talking
"Ah!"
about him dropping off this year and probably being his last year, but he's looking good, man.
Sometimes just being around the right atmosphere.
Exactly, I think that alludes to Kemba in New York as well, being his hometown.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had a shit year in Boston last year, but yeah, I think. What games have we got coming up this week?
Let's go with
some terrible games tonight.
Let's start with the Halloween.
Halloween night, it is, isn't it? You can tell that we've got a soundboard. My guy
buzzing
is
with it, man. I've got
it.
trigger fingers over here, man.
Sacramento at Dallas, early game. And Sky Sports are showing it. Sky Sports, for all of you in America, Sky Sports is where we get our NBA through the TV. If we
if you weren't sickos like myself and Too Good, and you don't have League Pass, Sky Sports is it's a good filler when you don't know about basketball. But if you do know about basketball, you just get live stream.
Yeah,
you don't bother with Sky Sports.
Portland at Charlotte.
I think the best game here is Bucks Jazz. I think that's going to be the only decent game
tonight.
I mean, you got
Giannis.
Nets Detroit. We know how that's going to go.
Yeah.
You got Lakers Houston. You know how that's going to go. Although I would love to see an upset there.
What in Houston?
Yeah, I would love to see that. But
Houston beat the Lakers.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Man. I think they might just send Russ out on his own. See him crip walking across the court.
Gee.
What other big games have we got this week? Do you know what I'm really looking forward to? I don't know when it is, but I want to see Lonzo go up against LaMelo.
Oh, when is it?
Because we haven't spoke about him yet, but Miles Bridges.
Did you know that guy is a 3-point shooter? Do you know he is deadly from 3-point? His career average is above 40%.
Do you know? He said most improved. Fuck that shit. I want the MVP.
This dude is killing it, man.
He's a great player.
And you know what? I can't believe I'm saying it, but he makes LaMelo better.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, he makes LaMelo's job so much easier. Imagine having a guy, like, especially a forward, where you're running up the court and it doesn't matter if he's cutting in or out.
You can just give him the ball and it will go in the hoop.
Like, yeah. That's a bucket.
He's got a lot of potential to be a great player.
Yeah, and it's not really player. Someone... He's so overlooked as well. Yeah. And I think this season he's starting to turn some heads now. Like, Charlotte Hornets are doing well.
Yeah, the Charlotte Hornets are doing really well. But it's because it's a small franchise.
Yeah.
That's why they're never going to get looked at. I mean, they're 4-2 on the season, but they've got some big wins. And LaMelo's numbers are up. They've got a win over the Nets. Obviously, we spoke about it. The Nets ain't being that good. They've beaten... Oh no, they lost to the Celtics in an overtime game. Yeah, and then they lost to the Magic last night. Not the Magic, sorry, the Heat. Who are another good-looking team.
Yeah, man.
Really good-looking team.
Yeah, man. Tyler Hero has brought it back
Yep.
from last year's playoffs. Big disappointment, but this year he's saying... Well, he said himself, Tyler Hero, this is the first time I've actually had a point guard. Like a real good point guard that brings everyone in.
Yeah.
You know, and he did say no disrespect to his former teammates or whatever. But that's just what Kyle Lowry does, isn't it? Kyle Lowry's a very, very, very solid point guard in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he's got cake. Got that booty.
Yeah. He needs it to take one of them charges.
I mean, Jimmy switched it on as well.
Jimmy has switched it on. Jimmy's playing like bubble Jimmy.
Yeah.
Which is great to see. But then again, like, you know, he's good friends with Kyle Lowry. So that's happiness at the end of the day.
right place.
Yeah, right place,
Can
right
make
people.
Can make a
makes hell of
massive
lot of
difference. Yeah.
Miami sitting 4th right now, 5-1.
I think they'll stay in home court territory.
Yeah, I think so. The way things are going, I think we're looking top end of the East. You're looking at Chicago, Miami being there.
Yeah, I mean
the Knicks will fall off. Washington will fall off.
Bing bong.
Obviously, Milwaukee will pick it up.
Yeah.
Milwaukee will pick it up. Brooklyn will pick it up, I'd imagine.
I think Philly might be in trouble this year.
Yeah, I think Philly are in trouble. I think the West could stay as is. Memphis might move up. Phoenix will probably move up. But you got Golden State on top, Utah second, and Denver, Dallas, Sacramento. Sacramento will probably fall off.
Yeah, Sac will drop right off, mate. They won't even be in contention.
Minnesota don't look bad. I don't think they'll stay. I don't think they'll stay in like solid playoff contention. I think they'll probably be in playing. I don't think the Clippers are going to make playoffs this year.
Well, before you start all of that, you know what time it is?
Hit me.
It's time to
denied. Nice. Yeah, it's dunked or denied time, bro. Right, let's get straight to it. Dunked or denied.
Come at me.
Gerald Green announces his retirement from basketball. Dunked or denied on Green being the best in-game dunker. Not dunk contest.
Oh, no.
In-game dunker.
Dunk contest, he was wang anyways.
He blew a damn candle off the rim, man.
Let me get this cake real quick. That barefoot dunk as well. Did you do that barefoot between the legs? Yeah. Best in-game dunker? No.
That?
No. He's got one of the best in-game dunks ever with that alley-oop
windmill, yeah. Head like neck and chest above the rim pretty much.
But if he was to get on a breakaway, you know, I remember seeing Vince Carter in New Jersey and he got on a breakaway and everyone's up in there, up on their feet.
Yeah.
Waiting to see what happens. Like, Gerald Green wasn't that kind of dunker.
Okay.
You know,
I can respect that.
He might have yammed on a few people and stuff like that, but you know,
he was
Vince
more
Carter,
of a flashy dunk rather than I'm gonna go over you. Like,
that's it. Like he didn't really have the pace to or beat someone off the first step to then get that dunk on someone.
But catching off a lob, he was OG in my opinion. But I kind of sway with you on that because what makes a great in-game dunker is that you could dunk at any time. Exactly, and when you look at like Vince Carter, Richard Jefferson, like those bouncy guys, even like Jason Richardson, Miles Bridges now, like every time they beat someone off the first step and they get inside that key and gather, think, shit. Like, like people do not want to challenge these guys. And
no. So I'm going denied for that.
Okay, we'll both go denied with that, but I still love pretty much every in-game dunk that he's done.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Highlight reel is just
phenomenal.
Second question, Paul George will finish top 3 in MVP contention this year.
This is a tough one. He could.
He's playing great.
He's not going to win it because the Clippers will be a losing team.
Yeah.
But he could. If you'd have said top 5, I'd probably said, dunked. Top 3.
It's a tough one because
I'm going to go denied.
As much as it is an individual award, you need the wins.
Yeah.
Like, you're not that valuable if your team's not winning. And that's really what it boils down to. If the Clippers can finish 6th or 5th, I can see him being in the top 3. If they struggle to find play-in contention, there's no chance.
No chance.
So
the way too early MVP talks.
Mate, Mystic Mike ain't here, so we can't get the actual predictions right. So we have to just fumble it about a bit. So both denied on that again.
Yes, sir.
God damn, we're a negative podcast today.
Yeah, we are, man.
The Lakers, obviously, this is question 3. So Lakers, we talked about their struggles early on. Is this the new look Lakers? Is this what we're going to see for the rest of the season?
Neg. This is negative. This is such a negative question, bro. I think it is. I honestly think it is. I don't think this is going to work. I really, really don't think this is going to work. I think some people are going to get traded. Not, I'm not talking Westbrook or AD or LeBron or anything like that, but like Rondo being there is pointless.
Yeah.
Absolutely pointless. Dwight Howard's playing all right, but obviously he's just got he's a garbage man.
He's got a rebound block and dunk
and beat
twice
AD
a game
up on the bench. Like, but yeah, I can't see it. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong.
Part of me wants to think that they'll work it out just purely because of Bron's presence, and Melo's presence. You got that. I don't know. They're goated, kind of like they're.
But even Melo, like he's going from
dropping 27 to 3.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Like he's just, there's no consistency there whatsoever.
And he was my sleeper pick for 6th man. Because you put him against all the other 6 men on teams, you think, God damn, Melo's going to come off the bench and average 20, like because that's what Melo does. He's a scorer. He's not much else to his game.
But then I think with Melo, you just got some sort of like recency bias, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've seen what he is or what he has been, and you think, well, if he's coming off the bench, he could do that. Like.
Maybe he just needs a lot more time to heat up. Yeah, he's obviously getting older. Them knees ain't what they used to be. Yeah. I haven't seen Melo dunk for about 2 years.
Still makes them rebound. That's my ball. Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm going denied. I'm going dunked. Dunked. I think this is the Lakers.
I'm going to go dunked as well, just purely because I can really see the Lakers struggling to enter play-in.
To put this together,
they're either going to make the 6th seed or they're going to enter the play-in. I don't think they're going to get home court this year. And quote me on that if we are wrong later on in the year, so we can get fraud alert.
Fraud alert.
So yeah, both dunked on that. Sorry, Lakers, but you're damn trash at the minute.
Yeah.
And last question on D or D. The Minnesota Timberwolves off to a cracking start this season. Minnesota are heading to the playoffs. What do you think? Now, bearing in mind, to me, playoff means 1 all the way through to the play-in.
Yeah. So you got 10 spots.
You got 10 spots.
I fucks with that.
Yeah.
I'm going dunked. I think they are going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, what are they, fourth at the moment?
Yeah, 4th or 5th. Maybe a little bit lower than that. They are currently 7th.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, below Portland, but obviously they're evened up, so they've got the same record as Dallas, who are 4th, at 3-2, and then you got Golden State at the top 5-1, Utah and Denver at 4-2, and then the rest are 3-2.
And Edwards has looked so good this year, and Cat is finally playing defense.
Yeah,
and I think they've got the top 4 or top 5 defense in the league in the minute.
I'm not too sure,
but they're killing it.
6th.
I mean,
6th defensive rating.
Damn, Aaron, I'm fucking like 1 off on every stat that I throw out there, man.
I mean, that's pretty good. Right? You're talking off the top of the dome here. And yeah, D'Angelo Russell's got ice in his veins again.
Yeah, and you know what? I am a big D-Lo fan. Not many people are.
No, I'm not. I was when he was in Brooklyn.
When he went to Brooklyn, I was like, this man is a bad man.
Cold-blooded.
But I mean, that's a big trio now, and they would be dumb. They would be dumb to trade D'Lo this season.
Yeah,
I mean, D'Lo just has had a rough couple of years going to Golden State. He went Golden State, didn't he? And then he got moved on
for Andrew Wiggins
to Minnesota. He didn't have enough time last year to really gel, and they didn't really have those guys, or the guys hadn't stepped up that year.
No.
And D'Lo plays better when his entire team plays better.
Oh yeah.
And he's a good point guard. He's a good scorer.
Yeah,
He's slow, man. He is. Watching him not trying to like penetrate, it's like, jeez, man, this guy's got it in reverse. But I love him, man. I love him. And Ant and Cat, the ultimate animal.
Yeah, Ant Edwards is jokes.
Animal Crossing.
Do you know what? I didn't like him when he first came into the league. I thought he's arrogant little fuck, man. But he is jokes.
Yeah, I do like watching his interviews. But no, and he's performing. Yeah, he's performing, and Cat's performing, and I'm really happy to see Cat perform because like 2 years ago he was being compared to, it was him, Embiid, Jokic, top 3 centers in the league being spoke about all the time, and then he dropped off, and it was only Joel and Jokic being spoken about.
Yeah, we had a rough couple of years.
But it's nice to see him, even though we're early in the season. It's nice to see him back to being Cat. You know, and obviously he had all of his issues last year with his mother passed.
I think there was a few of his family members.
A few of his family members passed
due to COVID, which is tragic.
Man, and that's, you could say what you want. That's going to affect how you play the game.
Of course it is.
So, mad love for him for coming out the other side of that and producing what we see in front of us in a minute, which is a winning Minnesota team.
Yeah.
And this
is why you know, people like Kyrie. I'm not going to get into vaccine talk, but to see somebody who they consider their brother, the NBA family, who went through what he went through, losing half of his family to COVID, and then sitting there and saying, "No, I'm not going to get vaccinated. Like, I'm going to play against you, and I'm not going to get vaccinated." Man. And, and the same goes for Bradley Beal and all them that said that they're not going to get vaccinated.
Kind of spitting in the face, kind of like, it's like, this is a real thing. This,
like my guy who's a big personality in the league. You know, I think he lost 3 family members to COVID, and you're just gonna be like, oh nah. COVID don't exist.
It's conspiracy.
You lost your family members just because it was bad timing. Like, come on, man. Anyways, I'm gonna go dunked. I think.
Yeah, man. First positive on D&D.
Yeah. Where's the round of applause button?
Yay!
If you're shut that fucking thing up. If you're talking from 1 to 10, so if they make the play-ins, then I'm definite. I'm that's a lock.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm happy. I'm happy with how they're playing now. Even if they stay in 7th, that's a dub. That is a win. That's a winning season for Minnesota, man.
Yeah.
You don't get home court, but that's cool. You're making strides. Next year, build on that. Let's get top 4. You know what I mean? And they've got the talent to do it.
Do you think they make a play for Ben Simmons?
I think they'd be dumb to at the minute because their chemistry seems right, and they've got the people where they want them. And to get Ben Simmons, you got to trade D'Lo,
at least
minimum. You know what I mean? And are you gonna trade D'Lo? Like, he's playing okay, and he's gelling with this team.
Yeah, but
I think it would be silly to. But it's the NBA. NBA's so unpredictable. Where bum ass trades happen from time to time.
Bum ass players for good players.
But yeah, no, I mean, double dunked on the last one.
Yep.
Happy with that. And that is where we're going to wrap it up this week, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for joining us. We have loved being back, and we are back to weekly podcast now.
Yeah, we got this. The NBA's back. We're excited. Every week we have got something to talk about. Yeah. And we're going to get the return of Snazzy or
Trashy.
Yeah,
yes.
Buddy.
Buzzing. Oh, the champ is here, by the way.
Oh, do you know
the champ is here?
Oh, I don't want to hear this.
Woo, good golly, it feels to be. I can't even words. I'm that excited.
You're so excited.
My monotone voice trying to sound excited, but I just get my brain all confused. But no, I won first ever No Goats. I won't say much more than that because
No Goats champs in the building. He fixed it, but you know, he was doing the Sims himself. You know,
next time you guys buy the game.
No, shout out to No Goats champ. We bow down to you.
You are not worthy.
We are not worthy.
Yeah, but big news. We are also going to start our movement over to the YouTube fraction.
Yes.
And I'm buzzing for that because we got a lot of ideas for Studio Outlook, how we're going to set up.
Lay it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Previous episodes will be going on slowly but surely up onto YouTube. And
I think my favourite episode just got uploaded. Old Stankdelphia.
Stankdelphia.
Best album cover / probably my favourite episode. Yeah.
That's a badass
episode.
If
you haven't checked it out on the podcast already, you suck ass, but check it out on YouTube, man.
Yeah.
Because
and then get on there and like, subscribe, share. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it helps us so much.
Yeah, man.
And we appreciate it. Get us at Flagrant3 on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and obviously now YouTube. All the major streaming services.
We're making moves,
We're making moves. We're gonna get some footage coming as well. We're gonna get some cameras set up.
Yeah, man. If you guys have any suggestions on what you want to see in the studio as well, I mean, I'd be happy to take suggestions. Like
no nudity.
Some nudity.
Some?
You get a leg in the summer. But yeah, this has been Snazz and Feeling Too Good on the Flagrant3 podcast in partnership with Harman Coaching Services.
The boy.
Train like an athlete, perform like a warrior. You thought I forgot about the ad, Jack. I did not. See you guys soon. Peace.
Peace out.